I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. Concerned about your retirement? Looking for a way out of debt? Saving for a home? A new car? College? You found the right show. Smart Money Moves with certified financial planner Joseph Quijano.
Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Joseph Quijano with the Smart Money Moves radio show. And today I'm joined by two financial planners, Michael Ladd and Jordan Quijano. Gentlemen, how are you?
Doing good, Joe. It's good to be back for another week.
Yes.
That's right. We're excited to talk about today's topic and really get everybody in the right footing for what's been going on. These last few weeks have been a little bit wild. Wouldn't you say so, Joe?
Totally. I mean, I can't believe what's happening with inflation, just inflation in general. But I mean, we were just talking today about the gas prices, Michael.
They're through the roof and they're not done yet.
I know. And, I think somebody said that they're almost like $5 a gallon.
It's getting there. And it's crazy to think of filling up a car nowadays and almost spend $100 or if not more if you were always used to spending $100 on a truck or something.
Right.
I mean, that's a lot of money for somebody.
That is right. And that's not only what's going on, but, what's going on is look at the stock market. Look at the market. I mean, it's so volatile at this point. It's going up and down, up and down, up and down. I don't know when this is going to end. I really do not know, what's going to be the outcome with this Russia-Ukraine invasion. I don't know what's going to happen economically. I mean, I just know that the market is really faltering at this point. Don't you agree?
Absolutely. I think that's the one thing for certain that we can say is that the market is going to continue to see volatility. We might see it going up still a little bit at a time, but it's going to have its big drops and dips. And once we actually really know the outcome of the economic impact of what Russia invading Ukraine looks like, we're just seeing the tip of the start of the iceberg forming right now. We haven't even got to the tip because we're seeing gas prices increase, and now we're starting to see the impact of consumer goods being impacted. I mean,
right.
The funny thing I was just thinking about this morning, Joe, is do you remember back when gas prices were increasing back in 2007, 2008 with the financial crisis?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, definitely.
The one thing that the airlines, man, I commend them because they were pretty smart, is instead of charging fuel surcharges that once fuel prices came back down, they'd have to stop charging, they just started charging bag fees.
Yeah.
And those bag fees are still around today.
They never stopped.
They never stopped. So,
That's right.
It's what's going to be next for the new charge that's going to be added on.
Funny?
Was it a surcharge or a new fee that they can hide it in there? So all we know for certain is the market's going to have volatility, and we're going to continue to see prices of everything continue to increase. Inflation is going to continue to go up. And that's where people need to create an actual plan, right? We can't continue to be planning or trying to go into retirement and not have a plan in place. We can't fly by the seat of our pants anymore. Because if we do, we're going to have that volatility hit us right on the backside, and we're going to lose our assets. So what we want to talk about and ask this question is, I bet no financial advisor out there has ever asked you, and I want you guys to listen carefully to this. Do you want a retirement plan for living or a retirement plan for dying? Without even knowing what I mean by asking this question, I bet most of you listening are going to tell us that you want a retirement plan for living.
The unfortunate truth about this, though, Michael, is that 90% of our listeners have a plan for dying, even though they want a plan for living. I need to explain what I'm talking about here. But before I do, I want to invite you for a free copy of our Smart Money Moves book. That's right, we do this every week, and if you haven't claimed your free copy yet, go ahead and give us a call. It talks about how you can make smart money moves, not only with how to protect your money with no market risk retirement strategies, but also how to help protect your money from high taxation. I mean, this is the other feat that we're going to start seeing in these downturns in the economy. So give us a call at 303-800-2919. That's 303-800-2919. Or visit us at mymoneymyway.com.
Something I was just thinking about this. Most people today, if you ask most people that are nearing retirement, what do you think is their biggest fear, Michael?
Losing assets.
No, it's actually outliving their money or not having enough money at retirement. See, that's the biggest fear. And they're claiming this university did a survey, and they're claiming that almost 80% of the people that are near retirement fear either not having enough money at retirement or outliving their income more than they fear death. Can you believe that? More than they fear death. They feel like they have to have enough money to retire in peace, right?
Absolutely.
So true. I mean, there used to be a theory of $1 million, right? Used to be enough. But that's not so true anymore. I mean, you can't, even having $1 million in retirement time is not almost enough in today's economy.
Especially for those guys that are earning, six-figure incomes today. If you just looked at simple numbers, you could have $2.5 million on average to create a six-figure income.
Wow.
And that's without any protection or getting any bonuses. That's just the sheer distribution rate on $2.5 million.
That's a lot of money. It takes discipline to get there.
It takes a lot of money to accumulate. A lot of money to accumulate and a lot of discipline. So what do we mean by a retirement plan for living instead of a retirement plan for dying? Well, here at Become the Banker, I want you to know we have no risk financial plans. That's why they call us the no-nonsense financial planning firm, that we can address a retirement plan for living, and also we have a retirement plan if you happen to pass away. So we can actually plan both, but we specialize particularly on the retirement plans for living. So many advisors, I know that, because we have a school, and we teach continuing education to financial planners, insurance people, stockbrokers. They don't really focus on safe money strategies. They don't really have the tools or the necessary expertise to actually help people plan for their future on a safe money basis. Well, here at Become the Banker, we have safe money solutions that are totally risk-free. And this is invaluable, ladies and gentlemen, specifically in today's economy. Look at the stock market. People are afraid to death because they're losing money. So when we participate in only safe money strategies, it brings people with it gives them a peace of mind, basically. A lot of clients have actually told me that they can finally sleep at night knowing that their money is safe, because we can rescue any account that may be in danger because of the stock market into safety. And that's what people want today.
Absolutely, Joe. And I think when you talk about that, what most stockbrokers are actually offering out there right now is, I bet every listener out there, or majority of you guys, have a variable product in your portfolio. That could be a variable annuity, that when the market's going up, you're getting the gains. When the market's going down, you're still participating in those market losses. You also might have variable life insurance. Same aspect. We here at Become the Banker and Smart Money Moves Radio solely focus on products that's only going to allow you to participate in the market gains. So when that market's going up, you're going to be able to lock in your gains, and you're never going to lose a penny of your gains. It locks in. So when the market goes down, you're going to see a zero is what we call your hero. So you'll never lose principal, and you're never going to lose any of your gains.
See, the problem really starts with, just like we're talking about, is what we're taught to do with money. Us advisors are traditionally taught to put their clients on a plan that by the time they retire, they will be able to draw out 4% of their money to live off of. That's 4%. The theory is, if you don't draw out more than that 4%, you should be able to keep your money for the rest of your life and being able to draw on it no matter how long you live. Well, that's changing in today's world. It truly is.
Yeah, sounds pretty reasonable for most people. I think most of the listeners out there understand, have heard Other advisors talk about that 4% rule. Build up a pile of money. You're only going to take 4% out a year. Then hopefully your withdrawals will be offset at some point by growth of those investments, and the money will last the rest of your life. The reality, Jordan, and you just hit this nail right on the head, is with the volatility in the stock markets we're seeing, if you're taking a 4% withdrawal on your money and the market goes down 10%, guess what? That 4% is less than what it was last year, and you're not going to make it back up.
So true.
So now you're having to pull additional assets out of that. So unfortunately, this theory is no longer a good assumption or a good basis for financial advisors to be teaching their clients to use. The 4% theory is only assuming the rate of growth, but it doesn't count for inflation, additional increases in fees, market volatility, so it doesn't represent reality. For example, what if you're drawing out 4% and experience that 4% or the 40% loss in a variable account? You're not going to have that 4% to be able to withdraw on that. And so we're able to give you guys guarantees. So we want you guys to give us a call at 303-800-2919 and request our Smart Money Moves book and our Smart Money Moves Information Retirement Kit. That's going to show you how we can rescue those assets from the variable accounts, 401ks, other traditional IRAs, and give you guaranteed rates of growth and get you up to a 10% bonus, as well as a 7% compounded rate of return for income that you will never outlive. So you don't have to worry about everyday market volatility and what your retirement plan is going to look like. We're going to take a quick break here, so we're going to step away for a few moments. We hope you guys continue to listen with us. Again, give us a call at 303-800-2919.
You're listening to Smart Money Moves, the show showing you how to make your money work for you. For more information, call 303-800-2919. Concerned about your retirement? Looking for a way out of debt? Saving for a home? A new car? College? Hello, I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino, recommending certified financial planner Joseph Quijano. When he's not doing his show, you can reach him at 303-779-6600. That's 303-779-6600 or online at mymoneymyway.com. That's mymoneymyway.com. 303-779-6600. You're listening to Smart Money Moves, the show showing you how to make your money work for you. For more information, call 303-800-2919. Now, here's Joseph Quijano, certified financial planner.
Hello, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Joseph Quijano with the Smart Money Moves radio show. And again, I'm here joined by Jordan Quijano and also Michael Ladd, two financial planners. And we were just talking about, the philosophy that most advisors have, regarding building a pile of money for a client and asking them to start withdrawing 4% with a theory that the 4% would last for the rest of their lives. That is no longer the truth anymore. It doesn't work like that anymore. I bet my bottom dollar that most consumers today would rather have a financial plan based on guarantees. Think about this, and not assumptions. Wouldn't you rather have that? Based on guarantees and not assumptions?
Absolutely. I think the big thing is people don't realize that there's plans out there that can give them guarantees because it's not talked about on an everyday basis in financial planning.
That is right, Michael. And you know what? You just said it just a few moments ago. How would people would enjoy and like having a guaranteed financial plan that will offer them a 10% bonus just to transfer their money from risk in the stock market, whether it is a 401k, IRA, a brokerage account, or just stocks and bonds. If they're concerned about losing that money, we can offer them a bonus just to transfer that money into safety up to 10%, so their account is going to be worth 10% more day one. How good is that?
That's really good. I think, Jordan, put some numbers to that, what that really looks like using some real life numbers. If someone had 100,000, what does that look like, and how's that going to help change their financial plan?
Yeah, I mean, looking at simple math here, if we're talking about one of our products that gives up to a 10% bonus based off the state you're in, you could get $10,000 right off $100,000. So you're starting with your account, instead of being at $100,000, you're at $110,000 day one, and growing with the upside potential of the S&P 500. So anytime the market's up, you're getting growth. But the best part is, just like my father and Michael have mentioned, anytime the market comes down, well, guess what? Your money locks in. You don't ride the market down. Michael had referred to that statement, zero is our hero. That's what the whole statement's about. You cannot get anything lower than a 0%. So you cannot get any losses due to unfortunate Russia and Ukraine fighting, any market volatility because of the pandemic. That's the beautiful part here, is your money is continually growing up and sideways, like a stairway effect.
And and another guarantee of our financial plan that we have, it's what I feel is the most important guarantee available today. That is that we're going to guarantee an income or a paycheck for the rest of their lives, our clients' lives. And this pool of money that we're building for them is going to be growing up to a 7% compounding rate of return to give them a guaranteed income for the rest of their lives. And Michael, I want to make sure that we really explain this, okay? This guaranteed income that goes for the rest of people's lives, okay, has nothing to do with the stock market volatility. It's guaranteed no matter what. And if people live a long, long life, guess what? It doesn't matter. It's guaranteed till the day they pass. That's totally different than having a pool of money in the stock market, right?
Absolutely. And that's where the key part is there. You're talking about 7% compounded each year. So if you just had $100,000 and you put in that 10% bonus that our clients are going to get, now they have $110,000 instead of just their $100,000 in the stock market. And you're going to compound that $110,000 at 7% for 20 years.
Think about that.
That's huge. And when they go to turn on that income check, it's going to be at a distribution rate higher than their 4% theory that their other brokers talking about. So we're already guaranteeing day one that they're going to have more money without any stock market gains.
Wow.
That's amazing to me.
And let's put some real numbers to this. I love talking about real figures. Let's just talk about an average 55-year-old that has $300,000 maybe built up in a 401k, maybe an IRA or Roth. If they were to roll that money over with us, day one, just like we said, they're going to get a nice bonus of close to $30,000. That's huge, day one. Now, looking at an income side, though, let's talk about just strictly income. When they decide to retire, and let's say at 68, because that's the realistic retirement age in today's economy, so 68 years old, they're going to get close to $45,000 every single year for the rest of their life, no matter how long they live. So if they have this $300,000 that they roll over to here, they know they're going to get close to almost $50,000 off of this. Now they have Social Security that they can tie in. And maybe they are able to build up money over the next 10 to 15 years before they retire. That's how you get multiple streams of income. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we focus on. Guarantees, paychecks for the rest of your life, but multiple streams of income.
And I think there's one big point you're missing there, Jordan, that we don't want to leave out is that income check, that what was it?
45,000.
45,000. If you cannot meet 2 of 6 daily activities of living, our company that we use is going to double that paycheck to $90,000 if you cannot complete 2 of 6 daily activities. That's eating, toileting, showering, long-term care, guys. That is if you need long-term care, whether you're in a nursing home or you're in your home and you're having the in-house care, they will double that paycheck.
So true. That's powerful because what other financial plan in today's world gives you not only guarantees away from the stock market, but also a bonus long-term care protection, a guaranteed paycheck, and last but not least here, a death benefit. If you pass away prematurely, the money just doesn't go back to the company. You don't lose out on that. This is your hard-earned money that you and your family deserve, so they get whatever the account grew to. That's fantastic.
Absolutely, because I know every one of your brokers out there right now is not going to double your paycheck when the market goes down. Or if you can't meet 2 of 6 and you're needing long-term care, I don't know any broker that's going to give you a double. A double. He's not going to say, oh, here's an extra portion. No, he's going to tell you to take out 8%, 9%, 10%, and now you've really depleted your assets.
Yeah, or let alone just any broker that would say they could give you a guaranteed account that's not going to lose money or a guaranteed paycheck. Brokers can't put that guaranteed statement on anything. And this is why we have the show out there for you consumers to listen to this. Ask your financial advisor, ask your broker, am I going to get a guaranteed income for the rest of my life? That's question number 1. Anybody that's dealing with your retirement future, you should be asking that question. Are you going to give me a guaranteed income for the rest of my life? Number 2, are you going to guarantee me that if I have long-term care needs or if I pass away that my family's going to be taken care of? Those are some big statements right there. And you know what? We're able to say, yes, we can give those guarantees. That's the difference between us and other financial plans. So I'd like to put out the number again. If you're interested and want to find out more information about this Become the Banker concept on how you can build guaranteed income for the rest of your life, protect you and your family, give us a call at 303-800-2919. That's 303-800-2919. Or visit us at mymoneymyway.com and visit for that Smart Money Moves retirement kit. We want to specialize this right around you and your needs.
And we're using highly rated A and A+ rated financial institutions to utilize these key accounts. So if you are planning for retirement or in near retirement, you need to call us today so we can show you a simplified way to put a plan in place, guys, so we can implement these strategies that we're talking about today and rescue your money from your current 401k, maybe an IRA, your other stockbrokers, and put a guaranteed retirement in place. Because who does not want a 9% bonus or up to 10, even higher, depending on what product you may qualify for and plan, and a guaranteed rate of return of 7% or higher for your lifetime income that you will never outlive? And I wanted to talk about one more benefit here before we take a break. But if you were to pass away, like Jordan said, not only does your beneficiaries, your kids, maybe grandkids, maybe it's a charity that those assets are going to pass along to, but we also have the ability, if you are married, that you can have your spouse taken care of and still receiving the same income check for the rest of her life as well. So it's not just based on the individual that took out the policy. We can guarantee a lifetime paycheck for your spouse. So that way you truly have a peace of mind, not only if you were to pass away, but if your spouse is still living, that they're not having to take a decrease in income point. Because the reality is they're going to lose their Social Security check.
Well, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to keep one of them, but they're going to lose some assets and income coming in. So why not put that plan in place that we can guarantee to not lose any income coming in on this plan for their spouse?
And if I could just say one more thing, I mean, for anybody who has a financial plan or financial planner out there, this is your future we're talking about. It's okay to get second advice. It's okay to have somebody else look at another plan for you. We're talking about the rest of your life here. This is important. This is the most important decision you're going to make in your life.
I agree with you, Jordan. You know, I believe that people should not be afraid to get or to seek a second opinion. Just like, you know, if you're like that doctor that you have right now, or if you're concerned about the diagnosis that you received, that's okay to get a second opinion. So it is important for your financial health to get a second opinion. So we're going to take a little break here. Again, stay with us. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Smart Money Moves, the show showing you how to make your money work for you. For more information, call 303-800-2919. You've heard certified financial planner Joseph Quijano talk about smart money moves. Isn't it time you do something about your financial security? Whether you become the banker with your tax-free savings or get an annuity with retirement income for life, Joe can help at 303-779-6600 or mymoneymyway.com. It could be the smartest money move you ever make. mymoneymyway.com. Now, back to the show showing you how to make your money work for you. 303-800-2919 for more information.
Welcome back to Smart Money Moves Radio. This is Michael Ladd. Joined with me today is Joseph Quijano, CFP, and Jordan Quijano. Guys, we've been talking about creating a living plan, a plan that is going to guarantee your financial health and your financial future, whether you are in retirement or heading into retirement. And I wanted to get back to the 4% withdrawal theory that we were talking about earlier. You know, conventional wisdom is rarely based on the fact in the investment world. In fact, it's rarely wise. It was not a long time ago that conventional wisdom said you could count on the average growth of 10% in the stock market, which, as we know today, we've seen a lot higher growth. But the reality is those studies and the facts don't take into account that we're going to have, you know, black swan events or, you know, other countries invading other countries that are creating a huge world economic impact. They don't account for those losses. So there's a very long list of assumptions that financial planners are making and that are being tested today. The sad part is the 4% rule has been ineffective since October of 2011. And that was an article put out by CBS Money Watch that said the 4% withdrawal rate may be too high for today's retirees. But the fact is, if you look at the growth of inflation and the cost of consumer goods and the rate of return since the early 2000s and 2011, if you were planning to take that 4% out, you would not be living very long with those assets. You would outlive your money.
That's so true. So in that article, they even quoted a financial planner studying by Wade, and I can't pronounce that last name, Bafu. In the study, it is evident that 4% rule cannot be counted upon. This study was based on his historical results in the stock market and included an extensive back testing with different stock and bond allocations. Many more studies in this article have since been released, throwing doubt in this 4% rule. So if your financial planner or your financial plan was been based around this 4% rule, think about how many people have to go back into work when they deplete these accounts, because 4% is maybe not enough and they're taking more like 6 or 7 or 8%, or the market goes down, just like Michael said, and you're having even more coming down for the next year.
Well, just remember one thing. You know, the stock market is not a science. If it was a science, everybody would be making a lot of money and never losing any money.
So true.
So it's not a science, okay? So the results that you just talked about were shocking to many financial planners. And they showed that the safe withdrawals rate of all time was to be like 2%. So it really blew the 4% out of the water. 2% was the safe withdrawal rate that could last a while, right?
Yep.
Now, that means that if you had $1 million with your broker, the most that you could pull out a year for your retirement would be $20,000 in order for the average person not to outlive their money. Now, let me ask you this. What if you were making $100,000 or $70,000 during your working years? Would you be willing to compromise and start living on $20,000 a year?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. You'd be living in poverty at that point.
And you make a good point there. That's off $1 million, right, Joes?
That is right.
So we just said on our example, if somebody had $300,000 with our plan, it's going to give them how much?
$40,000.
$45,000 a year for the rest of their life. And this off of $300,000. I mean, if you had $1 million with us, just think about the figures that you would have. I mean, this is real math, real numbers.
That is right. And that's what we'd like to concentrate on. We'd like to concentrate on a no-nonsense financial planning plan. And you know what? What's even worse than this studies right here? They don't include any fees that every investor has from investing their money into risk. And those fees are actually for the company and also for the broker, whether your account grows or declines. It doesn't make any difference at all. You still have to pay the fees. So you're losing money in more ways than one. Don't you agree, Mike?
Absolutely. And that's why we're reiterating this today, that you need to have a plan in place to live on, right? This living plan is to give you an adequate amount of income to be able to live. So wouldn't you rather count on guarantees than assumptions? You know, my wife always says this, and I shouldn't say it on the radio, but you know what when you assume means. And I'll leave that for the listeners to figure that one out. But guarantees is what we're counting on here. So wouldn't you rather have a retirement plan that is going to give you a 7% compounded rate of return for your lifetime income account that could be used to guarantee you a lifetime that you will never outlive, regardless of economic or financial impacts? You have a set number that you know day in and day out. That income number will not change. And if something were to happen and you need long-term care coverage, that number is going to double. How simple is that? It's pretty simple to understand that your income number is going to be the same today as it is going to be in 10 years. You're going to be able to predict that 7% rate of return, and nothing's going to change in there. There's no variable aspect to these accounts. So not only, is the money removed from market risk, but you're not paying high fees. You're not having to worry about a 4% income rule that you might outlive. And we're going to give you an opportunity to have a joint payout that will last as long as you and or your spouse will live.
Amazing, Michael. This is really amazing. What a simple product. What a simple strategy that offers these guarantees. Now, I want you, the listeners, to please call me now and request the free Smart Money Moves book. By the way, I want to let you know this, okay, that you can actually buy the book on Amazon or Barnes & Noble for over $20. This is a free gift that we're giving away today for our listeners. All you got to do is please give us a call at 303-800-2919. Again, to get your book and also the Smart Money Moves retirement kit tailored to your needs, give us a call at 303-800-2919. And remember, please, that our financial planning is based on, in only guarantees, by the way, is based on only guarantees, not assumptions. So once again, our number is 303-800-2919. Call us now.
And feel free to visit us as well at mymoneymyway.com. It's a short 30-minute video on there that you can help share with your significant other if they're not on the radio today, tuning into what we're talking about. Now let's get away from the numbers for a second, and let's talk about the real problem with the 4% withdrawal plan. Let's get back to the original question. Do you want a plan for living, or would you like a plan for death? I mean, this is a good question to ask. You see, if you plan to take your pile of retirement money and withdraw a certain percentage from it every single year, at that same time, you're exposing your money to risk, high fees, and assumptions instead of guarantees. And then you have a plan for death, my friend, because in reality, you might not be able to take all this money. If you pass away, where is this money going to go? In other words, in order for your money to last for the rest of your life, you have to die before your money runs out. Let me reemphasize that. This 4% rule, with all these fees, these high risks, and all these assumptions, not the guarantees, with you drawing this money over your lifetime, more than likely you will need to pass away before your money does, because you'll be left without any money and you'll be forced back into work. And I hate to say this, but a lot of times we see who greeting us at the Walmarts, at the Costco's, at anywhere. It's usually the elderly. And I always ask myself, if they want to be there working, or if they have to be there working. A want and a have is different. If they want to be, they're completely different. To kill time and collect extra money. But a have to because they're on a death financial plan where their money is already ran out. That's what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely. And I think you're spot on there because none of us know when we're going to die. I mean, I really, truly hope none of us do because that'd be sad. Guess what? Your broker doesn't know this either. He doesn't know when you're going to pass away. So once again, how do you decide how much is too much to take out of your retirement money? The simple answer is you can't figure that out. If you're using accounts that are subject to risk, high fees and assumptions, you don't truly know or have a basis to figure out how much money is too much to take out to be able to create that lifetime income.
No, you're right, Michael. Just imagine for a moment that you're going to run out of money. You're retired and you're just about ready to run out of money. What will be your thought process at that point, Michael?
Got to go back to work. How am I going to afford to travel and do the plans that I wanted to do in retirement?
Fear.
Absolutely.
Fear.
It's all fear.
We worked our entire life. We saved our entire lives. And some financial planner, because they were planning on assumptions, said that if you take 4% out of your pile of money each and every year, that you would be set for life. Now that seems, maybe it looked good at that time, right? Looks like a good plan.
Yeah.
You thought. But as your account is depleting and you're watching it go to zero and you're wondering what to do, you can't go backwards anymore. You're stuck with that plan. You cannot change it. So what we're trying to do here, we're trying to make sure that you don't make mistakes, financial mistakes. And it is clear, very clear to me and to other certified financial planners that you cannot make a plan based on assumptions. You have to make a plan based on guarantees to meet today's economic storms that we're facing. So it's it's an irony, not properly addressed with traditional risk-based financial planning. They're just taking assumptions.
So true.
Making assumptions. And to me, I want to be able to have guarantees. I want to be able to know that my money is going to be there when I need it. I want to make sure that I'm not going to outlive my money. I don't want to do that. And I want to make sure that I have enough money to have a comfortable retirement, guaranteed. Again, I'm using those words that are really forbidden to be used by financial planners. So we're just about ready to take another break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Smart Money Moves, the show showing you how to make your money work for you. For more information, call 303-800-2919. You're listening to this show because you too want to make smart money moves. Hello, I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. I'm proud to recommend Joseph Quijano to help you get out of debt, save for retirement, college, or for your dreams. Find out more online at mymoneymyway.com or call 303-779-6600. That's 779-6600. It could be the smartest money move you ever make. I'm Tom Martino, and I recommend this show to show you how to make your money work for you. For more information, 303-800-2919.
Welcome back to Smart Money Moves radio show. This is Jordan Quijano, along with Joseph Quijano, certified financial planner, and Michael Ladd. Now, right before the break, we had just talked about that moment that a lot of retirees have experienced. And I had to be blunt about this. It's that moment where you run out of money in retirement, or that you're nearing running out of money in the next year or two. Could you imagine that feeling? I mean, Michael, what was that feeling that you said most people would feel?
Fear.
Absolutely.
They would see their dreams depleting. They had dreams of being in retirement, and maybe it's traveling, maybe it's playing golf every day.
Made by the grandkids.
Yep. And all of those things require money.
Isn't that true? And so to have your whole life where you've worked 40, 50, even 60 years sometimes, and now you have to go back to work or start to rely on friends and family to help pay because you're at a point where there's just no money there. There's no two sides to it. So I want you to know, I don't want you to experience that moment, that fear, that moment that people have. I don't want you to experience that. I mean, I have a retirement plan for you that's based off of living. That's what we've been talking about today. This isn't a death plan. This isn't something that you're supposed to only live to 75 or 80. This is a plan that we're living longer, and this plan will be with you and your family for the rest of your life while you're alive. And if you pass away, well, guess what? There's benefits there as well. I call this plan a living because it's based off of guarantees, not assumptions. These are guarantees. In fact, our lifetime income account can pay out. It can be based on as much as 6.5% depending on your age. So when we were talking about real figures before, if you had $300,000, you put it in this plan, and you were 55, let's just say is when you put it in there, and you just let it sit there until 68. Well, by 68, you're going to get close to $45,000 a year. I mean, these are real numbers. $45,000 every single year for the rest of your life. And Michael, what was the best benefit, the doubler on this?
Yes, if you need long-term care, you can't complete 2 of 6 activities of daily living, they are going to double that income from $45,000 to $90,000. Now, the best part about this is for those that are unsure when they want to retire, maybe they're 55 and they have that $300,000 and they don't know if they want to retire at 62, 65, maybe even 70 because they love what they do. The longer they wait to take their income, it's going to just continue to compound at that 7% guaranteed rate for up to 20 years. And what you were talking about there, Jordan, is that withdrawal rate. We were talking about the 4% rule that most brokers are talking about. That 4% is the withdrawal rate of your current assets that are invested in the stock market.
Right.
With us, we know a guaranteed withdrawal rate each and every year based on the client's age. So, for example, at yours, when they retired, the withdrawal rate might be 5.5%. But if they would have waited an extra 2 or 3 years and compounded at 7%, that withdrawal rate might have been 6.5%, depending on age. So we can guarantee them a bonus of up to 10%, a paycheck that will double, guaranteed if they can't complete 2 of 6 ADLs. All we need is a form signed by your doctor. And 2, that guaranteed lifetime that's going to grow, that's never going to outlive you. You're never going to outlive that money. So you can guarantee to set those plans in place to have time with the grandkids, take those trips, and you have that guaranteed income that you can count on, regardless of whether you turn on the news and see the bad news about Russia invading Ukraine. Your money's not going anywhere. It's guaranteed.
And that's
that's amazing to me. That's truly amazing. You know, this brings me up to a point right here, Michael and Jordan. Many years ago, Social Security did a study. You know, Social Security, they know everything about you and I. I mean, they're like our big brother, right? You know, they know when a child is born. They know when you go to work full time. They know when you become disabled.
Yep.
And they know when you retire. Am I right? And when you die. Because they have to pay us what? $250 to bury us. So Social Security, they know, and these are the numbers from the Social Security Administration, okay? They say that if you take, of all the people that were born, all the people that that were born at the same year that you were born, by the time each one of you turns 65, they say that only 1% of you will be wealthy. That is to have like $1 billion or more. 1%.
Right.
4% will be financially independent. Meaning that you don't have to continue to work past the age of 65.
That's right.
4%. But guess what? 18%. 18% must continue to work. And 37% will be dead or disabled or needing long-term care.
Wow.
And the balance will be depending on the government, our family, our friends for our support. You see, only 5%, according to Social Security, of the people that were born when you were born will actually be safe, financially safe during retirement. So what if you are part of that group?
Yeah.
If you're part of that group and you invest money in the stock market and the market goes down, there's no guarantees, right?
No.
So that means that your money is going to be depleted faster. So you want to make sure that you plan, that your planning is based on guarantees, not assumptions. So you could be in the top 5%. You don't want to be in the bottom 95% because people don't want to fail, right?
Nope.
They just fail to plan properly, or they believe in somebody else's theory, and then that theory turns out to be wrong at the wrong time.
You're absolutely right. And that's where we're here to tell you that there's a better way to plan for your financial future. If you like the sounds of a lifetime income account that you will never outlive and that will not be eroded by high fees from your current broker, or maybe it's the upfront bonus of up to 10% that you have interest in, then you want to never lose a dollar again, then you need to call us at 303-800-2919 for a complimentary portfolio review. Guys, this is a no-pressure meeting with us where we will sit down. We will show you exactly where your current financial plans are based on your current account values and what that looks like, how much risk you're actually taking in that portfolio, and how we can minimize all of that risk, get you into a plan for living to get you that up to 10% bonus, the 7% compounded rate of return, and that guaranteed lifetime income check that you can count on, that you'll never outlive. So call us at 303-800-2919 to request that Smart Money Moves book and our Smart Money Moves financial kit that will truly show you that there's a better way out there.
Do you know what I was thinking? I was just thinking when you were saying that, Michael, that, most people are basing their financial future on maybes. It may happen, may not happen, only on maybes, when they should be basing their financial decisions with guarantees. And that's the bottom line, right, Jordan?
That is. So just reiterating everything we've talked about today. I mean, why would you want a 4% payout? This 4% rule of living on a plan that if you have $1 million or if you have even $2 million, I mean, this is not realistic in today's economy. We talked about the fees that people are going to be getting charged by their brokers, whether their account is up or down. We talked about long-term care, unexpected costs. We're talking about stock market risk, unexpected pandemics, wars. Just like my father just mentioned, why are we going off of these ifs or possibilities that if nothing happened and it was a perfect world and you didn't need all these things, well, then a 4% rule could potentially work. But that's not the case. We all know that life throws us curveballs, and this is why you have to have guarantees. So I just want to go back to this plan. If you do have money sitting aside in a 401k, if you have money in a brokerage account, an IRA, or even just sitting at the bank, this is the plan that can help you out. It'll give you guarantees. It'll give you an upfront bonus up to 10% based on what state you're out of. And on top of that, you get to grow your money just like you would if you were in the 401k. You get the same growth while the market's up, but better yet, you don't get the downside drops. The money does not lose. And so you get to grow it with protection. And when you're ready to take that income, just like Michael said earlier, it could be 65, 68, it could be 70. The longer you let it sit there, the bigger the paycheck will be. And that was just what we were talking about. $45,000 for somebody that started at the age of 55 of $300,000, put it in there, let it sit there for those years, and at age 68, they could pull out $45K. But if they waited till 70, get this, just 2 more years, if they were able to postpone it for 2 years, they would get close to $60,000. That's a big jump, 45 up to $60,000. This is why we want to sit down with you and tailor the plan that's specific to your needs.
And the bottom line, Jordan, it is guaranteed.
That's true.
Guaranteed. You see, I had a client that was totally mesmerized by the stock market. He said, no, my broker told me about this plan, and this plan will carry me all the way through retirement. They did some calculations, Monte Carlo they call it, or asset allocation as well. All those are assumptions.
Right.
I mean, they're not true. They're not guaranteed.
It's not in writing that it's guaranteed 100%.
No, absolutely right. What's a Monte Carlo? What's an allocation? I mean, so I'm trying to say to people today, don't be mesmerized by the studies that claim that the 4% rule is still viable today, because it is not.
Right. And just like we said, even if you had $1 million, 4% of that's $40,000 a year. That's more than likely not even going to be enough for you to survive off of, number one. But number two, we're offering $45,000 a year off of just $300,000. That's the difference. I know it's hard to believe, but this is real numbers, real products that have been around for over 100 years plus with A-rated companies. It's just unfortunate that most brokers and most financial advisors don't share this with you because they don't get paid as much. And I'll be blunt about it. That is the truth. Now, we're getting close to the end of our show here, and we hope that you like everything you heard. So give us a call at 303-800-2919 so we can specialize this plan to your specific needs, show you what you need for the rest of your life with protection, and how we can guarantee it in writing. So that's 303-800-2919, or give us a visit at mymoneymyway.com. Thank you for tuning in to Smart Money Moves Radio. We'll see you next week.
You've just heard a presentation of Smart Money Moves. Thanks for joining us. But this is just the beginning of your financial security. Take the next step by calling 303-800-2919 for more information, or visit online at mymoneymyway.com.